there is a way to be creative that is not self-destructive. This means to be co-creative rather than trying to control creation. When I'm trying to control the creative process, to control the outcome, what happens is I end up sending myself into extremes. While I have control, I'm high, feeling powerful, godlike, everything's happening just the way I want it, until it's not. And then I crash, crushing lows happen. I find myself in the pit of shame. What's wrong with me? I hate myself. Between these highs and lows, a tremendous creative process can occur. However, the cost is so great. We've seen this in the lives of so many wonderful artists across the centuries, that their creative process somehow was intimately engaged with a self-destructive way of being. If I want to live creativity in a way that's life-giving, what I do is begin to pay attention to co-creation, to my experience of creativity as a relationship with the sources of inspiration. When I'm doing that, I find myself in a developmental process, a process of transformation, where my focus is less on the product of what I'm creating and more so on the process of who I'm becoming. And when I am engaged in that way, in this relational process, the product that's created is simply a representation of who I'm becoming. Now, the way to go about this, to be engaged in creativity as a developmental process, as a process of personal transformation, is to pay attention to the energy in my relationship with the muse. And by that, of course, I mean my feelings. It's my feelings that become the guide and the source of power and direction for how I engage as I'm being creative. The four feelings that are in the essence of this creative process are amazement, surrender, passion, and fulfillment. Amazement is the wonderful pleasure in moments of inspiration, when some element of my experience, be it a person, a thing, a process, absolutely fascinates me. What's happening there is it opens my mind, my heart, my soul to the possibilities of how life can be better, what could come to be, who I may come to be. Tremendous energy stirs there. My dream, in a sense, is born. Of course, when that's happening, eventually, or once it has happened, I come face to face with the need to surrender, because elements of who I have been, my old self, come up against this dream of how life could be. And I recognize that I've been clinging to illusions, usually illusions of control, and that these old ways are now preventing me, holding me back from progress toward my dream of how life could be better. The challenge then is to surrender, to let go, to allow old ways of being to die, to allow old beliefs to die. This can be very painful. It is a kind of grieving that can go right to the soul of a person. The third feeling that is at the core for creative process is passion. When passion comes, I am into the act of giving birth. The energy comes, the power comes to push something new into being. This can be tremendously powerful energy. What I do, of course, why am I pushing? I'm coming up against recognizing obstacles, whether they're from the inside or from the outside, things that get in the way of what I want to bring about. And I find the power, the belief inside myself to push through these obstacles and to bring forth into being something new and wonderful. And then lastly, the fourth feeling that comes with creative process is fulfillment. These are the glorious times when I'm living my dream, when what is happening is what I have longed for, believed and hoped could be possible. And now here it is. These are experiences where I am not in control. There is a creative product occurring, but I do not experience myself making it happen, rather being part of a whole energetic experience flowing through me and around me that is bringing something into being. So the wonder of this is that these four feelings, amazement, surrender, passion, fulfillment, carry me through a creative cycle over and over again. And as I go through this cycle, my dream being born, disillusionment, surrendering what needs to die, pushing new life into being and finding myself in a whole new way of being. Again and again through this cycle, I go through the death and rebirth process. I join the Creator, the whole act of creation, and become a part of that process in a way that is deeply enriching for who I am and who I become.